All right, so the September planner is a PDF you can print out and write on, and I did give you instructions in the beginning on how to print this if you like a 2-page layout like I am showing you here, which is really my preference. I have just a little hello note for you every month, and I try to stick in just some quotes that I like and I find inspirational, because isn't that the whole reason that we do planning? Now, each of the planners have different sections in them. So the first one is micro planning. And in the first page, it will tell you exactly how to use that section and what to do next. So I am all about single tasking. So this video right here is the one you are watching right now. So it has a link usually to the video down here at the bottom. But when I say choose one thing, I am a huge proponent of single tasking. I truly believe that multitasking is holding you back. I know it holds me back, and it prevents me from really getting ahead in life. And that doesn't mean that you should abandon everything, but you should really just have a primary singular focus, and you should at least try to batch your tasks or items so that you can get things done and just focus on one thing at a time. So I don't know if you guys know this, every time you're interrupted, you need at least 2 hours to get back on track, whether that is somebody just asking you what time it is, or it is getting up to go eat something, or whatever you're doing, it breaks your concentration. So that's why I think single tasking is so important. Now, if you're an author, I have a small video down here on what to write about, because I know in the beginning that's the toughest part for all of us, and it does have a decision matrix worksheet to go with it, because as you will find out if you are new to me, I love talking with worksheets or workbooks. So this is your chance to choose one thing. So for September, I want to write 85,000 words for my next novel, and you have space here to write yours, or your one single thing. And then this is the month at a glance of September. And so you'll notice it's color coded. So green is just writer events that I know are going on, and blue are holidays like Labor Day, and pink are the cozy escape events. So we have our chit chat on the 13th, and we also have our book discussion on the last Wednesday of every month, like it normally is. Now over here is how to time block out your week. So this is a really great way to use Google Calendar. I actually don't use it that way. So in Google Calendar, I just put in appointments that I have to be at. And then what I do is I actually use a paper system to write out for each week. I do this time blocking. And for me, technology is great because it helps remind me of things that I need to do or appointments that I have. But to do time blocking inside of Google Calendar, to me, is onerous. It's just like using Trello or Asana. They are more work than they are worth. Despite how great people think they are, I still love paper. And so this actually is what I do on paper. Step 4 is to create a writing and word count goals. Now, obviously, this applies just to authors, but this really just helps you break down each of your goals for the week. And quite honestly, you could go ahead and use this for any of your goals. Like if you wanted to, learn how to run a marathon, or not learn, train for a marathon, you can break down your training schedule inside of here. Step 5 is to create a daily to-do list. So I, like I mentioned, love having paper. So I set this up so you can just print this out as many times as you want and use this to check things off. So my personality is such that even if I do something and I didn't put it down on my checklist, I will write it down just so I can check it off. I know, I'm a little crazy, but it gives me like a feeling of accomplishment, and then I can see that I'm niching away at my list. And more importantly, I never have insomnia, and I think it's because anytime I have to do something, I just put it on the to-do list instead of trying to remember it in the back of my head. And I think that takes off a lot of worry and stress when I hit my head on the pillow at night. Now, the second one is the habit tracker. So the habit tracker inside of here, I usually just put a random book recommendation. This one's obviously for authors. And then I have this is some directions on how I chose my habits, which is to work out every day and to write every day. Your habits can be a weekly habit, or they can be daily or bi-daily, every other day. I think you know what I mean. So your timing can be totally different. And this is space for you to just write down your habits. Over here is a habit tracker. So I'm going to assume you're not going to do more than 2 habits. I think it is insane, like I said, with the multitasking, when people try to do 20 habits a month or even 5. You're going to fail. I've never seen anyone adopt 5 new habits every month consistently ever, or even once. So I think 2 is the max, and honestly, 1 is probably more doable. So this is set up so that you kind of just shade in this hexagon every time you meet your, you successfully complete that habit for the day. And then you can kind of see at a glance how you did, and then you can give yourself an incentive reward. So these numbers coincide with Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, even though it doesn't say that. But that's how these habit trackers always work. Now, over here is the 3rd section, which is a word count tracker. Now, this is for writers. Don't worry. The 4th section is for readers. And this is a word count tracker, so you can track all of your words every single day. Now, obviously, you don't have to write every day, but at least you have the option to track it. I don't understand how other word count trackers work, but I know this one works for me. I put in my starting word count for the day. So like, let's say my starting word count is 1,000. So that's how many words I wrote the day before on August 31st. So on the 1st, I would put 1,000. And then I don't know how many words I've written for the day until I know my ending word count. So, you know, with Microsoft Word or Scrivener or any of those tools, it will tell you your ending word count. So at the end of the day, my manuscript, instead of 1,000, is now, say, 5,000. 5,000 minus 1,000 means I've written 4,000 words for the day. Then I take that ending word count of 5,000 and I plug it in over here onto September 2nd, and 5,000 is my starting word count for the next day, etc. And that's how I go. Now, this Pomodoro method over here, these are just suggestions on, you know, just trying to break it down to a smaller task. So during the actual day, you know, if you were following the method strictly, you'd do 25 minutes of writing and then you'd rest for 5 minutes and then rinse and repeat. So for that particular hour, you could say that, you know, you could put your word counts in over here in your totals. And each time you write 100 words, you check this box off. Remember, I love check boxes. Once you get 200, you check this box, 300, 400. So you can keep reprinting this page. But when you see these smaller word count goals, usually it helps you to just be a little bit more motivated than having to see a total word count for the day. So the way, I don't know what happened to the headers here, but this is supposed to say goal and this is supposed to say actual. So for hour 1, you would say, I think I can write, like, I know personally I can write 500 words an hour. So I would say 500. And then if I only made 350, I'd write 350. I want to write another 500, but I only wrote 350. So that's how I would use that particular sheet. Now over here, I have a really exciting program starting in September. I can't even tell you how excited I am about this. Author Girlboss is like something I've been trying. I shouldn't say trying. I wanted to launch it for like over a year, but I really didn't feel comfortable. Like I had enough experience or enough success to do it, but now I do. So I would love to coach other people who want to have a side business, whether it is teaching other people to make planners, or you want to be a cover designer, or you want to be a developmental editor, or you want to be a writing coach. Anybody who wants to can start working from home, working for themselves, and they can make their own hours and be their own boss. So that's what the authorgirlboss.com is all about. So go visit that. Make sure to get on the early bird list because there is significant discounted pricing for people who sign up early. All right, moving on. Now this section, I'm super excited for it. This is for readers. And so this was requested during one of our Cozy Escape chit chats, which we are having another one on Friday the 13th. So make sure to show up. So this is your TBR list. So this is just my TBR list on the right. So I always try to give people an example. So for September, I will be reading Nancy Drew and the Hardy Boys every single weekend. I'm going to read a new book. And I did make a disclaimer over here. I do read 2 to 3 books a week, but I just want people to remember that I'm single with no kids and I work from home, so I don't have a commute, and I also don't cook. So I don't have a lot of time where I'm doing anything domestic and I don't have to take care of anyone. So my free time is much larger than someone who is a mom or someone who has a long commute to work. And I'm not judging anyone. I'm just saying try to be a little more realistic, because I really think reading should be fun. And I don't want these TBR lists to like make you feel guilty or make you feel bad. These are just supposed to help you kind of just organize your reading so you can read the things that you would really love to read. And then the second theme that I have for September is book cozies. So we chose seasons for the book club, for the Cozy Escape Book Club, and we give people 4 choices every month that they can choose from. We chose for September to read Death by Coffee by Alex Erickson. However, I did love all of the other books, so there's no reason I can't just read them, even though they weren't chosen. So these are like a Sunday due date, and these are Saturday due dates that I'm going to finish these books by. So over here is space for you to put in your TBR list. So put in your book. Obviously, you can just cut out and print these covers if you like, and just kind of tape them with some tape or with glue, a glue stick. But you could just write it out. And then over here, everyone wanted to mark the stars. So I left these really faint looking stars so you could kind of color them in. And obviously I put down here at the bottom, reprint this page as needed, which is pretty much true for all of the pages, because I'm not sure if you're going to read, 6 books or 20 books for the month. I have no idea. Maybe you're taking the month off and you're like, you know what? I just want to go on a reading a reading retreat. And I'm just going to lock myself in at my house and just read a lot. All right, so over here, I don't know if you guys noticed, but we put together a reading schedule every month. And the reason we put together a reading schedule is mostly because I am like a planner, outliner, like scheduler to the max. So even when I read, I have a schedule of what I'm going to read. I know I sound a little robotic, but I love just being organized. So over here, what I've done is you can put your book, your author, and your date. And again, this is just optional if you want to be crazy like me. But this way I make sure that I read all of the pages that I want. So I take the total number of chapters that are in the book. So like for our book of the month, it was Death by Coffee. It has 29 chapters. I know that we have 3 weekends to read it in, because I assume people have Monday through Friday 9-to-5 jobs. So I said, if you're going to go ahead and, just read on weekends, that means you need to read 10 chapters a week, because there are only 3 weekends. So you just divide that by the number of days. So you could do this by number of days or weekends, or however it is your system is, what time you have to allocate towards reading. And that means that we are going to read 10 chapters per weekend. So that's how I came up with this reading schedule that we have. So I just put this in here so you could come up with yours as well. And of course, I always, the funny part is I used to do this for romance writers, and I'm sure they all thought I was crazy, because I put desserts in at the back of every planner, which really is more of a cozy mystery thing. And now that we are all cozy mystery fans, I kind of feel, that's why I feel like this is really aligned with who I really am. And anyway, so I always just pick out fun recipes that I've tried out, because even though I say I don't cook, which I really don't, I do love baking. I know, it's crazy. I love, love, love baking. I love cake decorating, all of that stuff. So anyways, so this month you have chai cinnamon swirl bundt cake and the tunnel of fudge chocolate bundt cake, because I do love my bundt cake pan, which I think is from the 80s. I'm not even sure who uses that anymore. All right, so now we're at the end. So usually at the end, I try to stick in just some, I don't want to say commercials, but just events going on so that you kind of know where to join, so we can keep hanging out. And like I said, Courtney and I are doing a Cozy Escape Chit Chat on Friday the 13th at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. So please come join us. We would love to talk to you. And we are also doing our Book of the Month discussion on the last Wednesday of every month, and that's always when it happens. So that you can join. I have RSVP links here, or you can just join this one on Courtney's channel, or this one you can join on my channel, whichever one you prefer. I like the RSVPs because then it gives you a Google Calendar or an iCal or whatever calendar you use. It gives you an appointment reminder. So Otherwise, I wouldn't remember to go to anything. And if you want to join the Cozy Escape Book Club and you haven't done so yet, you can do so here. We send out a newsletter on the 15th of every month. So it has new releases. It has things going on with the club. Like we decided we're doing Secret Santa this fall. Super excited about that. And we also put out our favorite things, like just some products we really love. And over here, this is for writers. So this is the 10 essential elements inside every cozy mystery. So this is a little workbook you can download. And last but not least, I'm doing a planner haul giveaway for September. So I am just super excited about this changeover to Lisa Latte. I have so many planners you don't even know. So you get power sheets, you get like a desk folio, you get sticker books, you get pens, you get notepads. There is so much stuff in here. It's like pretty much everything I could fit into a box. So if you want to enter that, and it is open to international. I know that should be very exciting because I know a lot of you live outside of the US. So just use this link over here and you can enter. That will take you right here to this planner haul giveaway, and you'll be able to see a video right here of all of the stuff that you get inside of the planner haul if you win. And then if you're wondering, the deadline is Friday the 13th, that is of September, at 4 p.m., which is an hour before our live stream. So that live stream I was talking about, this Cozy Escape Chit Chat, that's at 7 p.m. So we will be announcing the winner for this planner haul giveaway during this Cozy Chit Chat. So I hope to see you at this, that, or anything else. And I hope you're all having a fabulous start to September. And I promise I will get this out way earlier than the last day of the month now that I have the new format going forward. All right. Bye, guys.